let me tell you, that doesn't mean give up. In fact, it means the opposite. It means it's time for you to fight harder, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the war path. And that starts with one of the fundamental laws of combat leadership: prioritize and execute. What's the biggest problem? Well, what's causing the most stress? Family? Okay. Sit them down. Explain where you are at. Be blunt, be upfront, and then give them the simple plan of how you're gonna get things back on track.
When you're on your way up, everyone roots for you because you remind them of their dreams. When you're at the top, everyone tears you down because you remind them that they gave up on them.
To work hard, to sacrifice yourself. You have to go through hell sometimes, but you have to see the light at the end of it, you know, to keep your dream in mind is going to give you the motivation to go through the tough time. It's nothing easy to go work is nothing you can accomplish without hard work.
When it comes to your success and your productivity, the reason you aren't getting shit done is not because you lack the time. It's not because you lack the talent. It's not because you lack the knowledge or the experience. The reality is, guys, it's always a mindset issue. You are believing the lies that keep you from being productive, okay? And there's a lot of lies. But let me tell you the big three, okay? Lie number one, I don't have the resources to get this done. What the do you mean? Nobody has the resources to get anything great done. This is the mindset of the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people
dive into something with more passion, with more dedication than you have ever done in your entire life.
I used to be upset because I wasn't getting where I wanted to get to, and then I realized you're not devoted to it. You're not giving 120%. You need to devote, which means you get all your energy, all your time, all your resources to a specific thing. You cut everything off. Focus.
You have to develop yourself and keep improving your game when everybody else is taking time off, relaxing.
You need to work the hours no one else is willing to. You need to study harder than anyone else is willing to. You need to put more effort in on that project than anyone else would even think to. Because you're not aiming to meet people's expectations. You're aiming to amaze them. You can only become the best by outworking everybody else. Your level of dedication determines how far you will go. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kids, you look at the country, and you realize that I am where I am because of other people's sacrifice. I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't want to get up and make it happen.
I don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back.
You have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do, and just go and get it.
For anyone who needs a reminder, no one is going to hate on you for doing worse than them.
I'm okay being the guy who says, cure mental health. I'm okay with it.
How far can I go? You know, I'm 38 this year.
There are more people that I have met in my life who are dissatisfied by their live it up 20s than dissatisfied by their work it up 20.
You know, how long can I push my own limits? And I don't feel like I do have limits. And I feel like the limits are normally constructs in our mind.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
You know what? I've just accepted. I'm only going to be happy when I'm grinding for something.
That's right.
I'm only going to be happy when I'm growing. I don't want to talk about stuff I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something great with my life. I don't know that I can get to the mental level you have, but I think everybody here needs to know something. If you just think you're going to do something temporarily once, man, you're going to be unhappy when it's over.
What you need is the one thing I talk about in my book, which is straight up, brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
The first time that I went to go and see Peterson, someone asked him a question and they said, the depth of my consciousness causes me to suffer. Is it a blessing or a curse to feel everything so deeply? He thought for a little bit and he said, Take more of the thing that poisons you until you turn it into a tonic that girdles the world around you. The only way out is through.
This is why most people never get anywhere.
God just passed me. He said, God, just be average today. Some of you just don't understand. Some of you been average for so damn long, you don't know what it is to do hard work. But there's a lot of you out there who want to be much more than average, but just don't know how to do it every single day, the grind. You need to find someone to oil those ears up. So check it out. This is a mindset. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But there's a out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you have. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if it is, it's gonna be your ass. So make that a motivation for you.
Most people are incapable of picking a direction and just going. They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by all the possibilities. They refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by.
If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You've built every single step to create this. No accidents. Just taking the easy road too many times, not getting up, not going for that extra rep, putting that extra mile in. The little inches of life that add up to be first place or forgotten.
To live the life only 1% of people do, you have to do what 99% of people won't.
The only thing you do for success is sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking there are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere you didn't earn. If you're going to get your personal freedom, you gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it. They ain't giving it away. The dream is real, but the lifestyle is realer. You want the lifestyle, but you don't want to earn it. You gotta earn this. There is a price tag to greatness. You will have to work for every single thing you get, and you gotta work every single day. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You want your dream to go on sale. It's never gonna go on sale. But if you want to be average, they giving the average out. They got discounts on goods. But if you want to be great, you gotta pay blood. You gotta pay sweat. You gotta pay tears. And you gotta pay every single day, every single time. There are no shortcuts to greatness. To be great,
it takes dedication, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes obsessive, compulsive, ridiculous amounts of effort. I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy.
you cannot cheat success. You gotta work for it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta sleep it. You gotta eat it. You gotta put forth 120%. There are no days off.
You might think that by worrying and obsessing and ruminating and thought looping and fearing and gripping your way through this problem, that it reduces down the likelihood of it happening somehow, that it brings to bear more control, that it almost like impacts reality in some sort of a way. It makes no difference. Again, what are we focused on? We're focused on outcomes, not on inputs. And the people that have that bias for action, they end up just finding out whether or not this thing is going to work way quicker.
So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through. Okay? If I don't see this through, I'm going to be digging ditches. That's what I tell myself.
Faced with all those issues and all those problems, and they all hit you at the same time.
It's psychological warfare. And that's where I started learning that life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself. And the shit I was telling myself was so tough, it was so wrong, it was so misguided. And other people start to write that dialogue for you also. And it starts to be what you say to yourself every single day. And I started creating a whole nother warfare, a whole nother battle started becoming. I was like, oh, hang on a second, Goggins. You have these tools. You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles, it was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life. I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental.
The ultimate lesson here is this. Everybody's on their own path. And I don't want to judge someone for wanting to be free and easy. I just want you to understand that there's a cost to that. And the cost that you're going to have to that isn't going to come until later. Most people need to shut the fuck up and focus on that version of themselves they want to become and actually be willing to become it. And that's what's ultimately going to create the fulfillment that you're looking for. It's not going to be your cold plunge. It's not going to be your morning routine. It's going to be the work that you fucking do to become that version of yourself that is the exact version that you know you're supposed to become, and then being proud of it. That's what's going to create the fulfillment that you're searching for.
I'm tired as hell, but I'm not gonna complain because this is what I signed up for. So I'm gonna smile with goddamn tired eyes and realize everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason. You have to want it enough to give your all for it. There are no free lunches in life. You eat what you kill. Don't expect anyone to give you anything. I'm not the best and I'm not the brightest, but I have the heart and the drive of a champion. The question is, do you?
You're saying I can't do it anymore for 2 weeks and then quit? Most of you in here, you're quitters. You don't have consistency, you don't have control, you don't have discipline.
You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. Most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you. I challenge you just to give a month where you say, for 30 straight days, every practice I'm putting in 120%. When I'm tired, I'm gonna keep going. You can't buy discipline, you can't buy drive, you can't buy effort either.
No matter how hard you work, there is somebody inside of you that works even harder. No matter how dedicated you are, there's somebody inside you that's more dedicated. No matter how committed you are, there's somebody inside of you that's more committed. I'm trying to get you to push yourself to a point that you have never been to before. Because when you get to that point, you're gonna propel to another dimension of your life.
Don't aim for mediocre. 99% of people in the world are convinced that they're incapable of achieving great things, so they aim for the mediocre. The level of competition is thus fiercest for realistic goals, paradoxically making them the most time and energy consuming. If you are insecure, guess what? The rest of the world is too. Do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You are better than you think.
The armor for your mind. Start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. That's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. You know, I just started being very uncomfortable. And now it's like just a way of life.
5 years ago, I think. I'm astounded by how many people want to be spectacular in life, but also want to be normal. By being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Exceptional people get exceptional results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and expect to not get what everyone else has got. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results. World really only knows the actions that you take. It doesn't know about the internal state until that then shows up in the way that you actually perform. So, yeah, some things to keep in mind. Number one, don't grip life so tightly. Being too serious creates a kind of brittle fragility, which a playful attitude insulates you against. Your goal is dynamic persistence over the long term. And taking things seriously gives you a huge advantage in bursts, but chronic seriousness makes you rigid and at risk of blow up.
Purity in physical pursuits, right? Because it doesn't matter what your social status is. It doesn't matter how people perceive you. When it comes down to how long can you stay in that pool, when it comes down to how far can you run, when it comes down to how much can you push yourself past the part where you want to quit, how far can you keep going? There's a purity in that it dissolves social order, all the what people think about you goes out the window. It's who are you right now?
That's right.
Who are you right now?
But it ain't fucking lonely at the top, bro. It's lonely in the middle, all right? And here's the thing. When you first start out with trying to achieve something that's not the norm of what everybody else is trying to achieve, they think you're weird. They think there's something wrong with you, okay? And then you set out actually doing the work. And you set out getting some results. What happens is Steve and Tony and Mary Jane from your whole neighborhood, they look at you and they say, oh, this dude's weird. What's wrong with him? He's too good for us now. You can write him too good for you. But I'm not gonna sit around and waste my fucking day, okay? And so as you progress out of that friend zone, which by the way, those people are never your friends. They're just people you hung out with, all right? You get into this lonely place. And that lonely place is called no man's land. And that's the time that you spend between what you thought were your friends and then finding a new group of people who are aligned with the actions that you're taking and the goals that you have.
Can't nobody stop you but you. You not average, stop acting like it. You not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. When you gonna step up to the plate?
What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
Every single day when I wake up, every minute of the day, every hour of the day, I have an opportunity to give 120%, to give blood, sweat, and tears. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity, I have to reprove myself again, because the day you become content, I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can accomplish. I want to see what I can do, what I can be, what I can have. I want to see what my life would look like if I didn't count the cost. You get to a point where you don't count the cost. You just do whatever it takes to get whatever you want. It's the day you die. It's all or nothing. It's all day, every day. What you did last week don't count.
To be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
They've taught me, you learn. Like, that's why failure is so important. Like failing and f***ing up and making mistakes, it's very important. That's how you learn. That's how the bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better. Like especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a loser. Like that just teaches you.
Growth mindset is, I believe, sort of a neuroscience lens on growth mindset would be that the agitation and stress that you feel at the beginning of something and when you're trying to lean into it and you can't focus is just a recognized gate. You have to pass through that gate to get to the focus component. And then if you can reward the effort process, you really start to feel joy and low levels of excitement in the effort process. That's that buffering of adrenaline. That's that feeling like, yes, I've got a lot of adrenaline in my system, but I'm on the right path.
You were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. It was you. There was no pat back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you. There was no team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom. You did that. So as times get hard for me, the truth comes out. And my truth is powerful as it's real. It's tangible.
What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want?
Sometimes it ain't about who the most talented and gifted. When talent meets talent, talent is no longer enough. Now it's about who has character. Now it's about who has integrity. Now it's about who's dedicated, who's committed. Now it's about who's gonna show up on time. Now it's about who's willing to do extra.
Today is the only important day. You got 86,400 seconds in a day. And what you do today is gonna determine how far you go. It only takes one extra push-up. It only takes one extra mile. It only takes one extra grade. It only takes one extra effort. It only takes one extra something to get you to where you're trying to get to. And the goal is you gotta go a little further than the man who's trying to get what you're trying to get. You have to outwork them. You gotta outgrind them. You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta embody
happens. So you got to prepare yourself. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to practice. You've got to work. You've got to do your homework. You got to do your research. It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement.
It feels good to walk up this hill.
I firmly believe when you give everything you got to something, right? I'm talking about blood, sweat, and tears, everything you got to something, right? The peace in that is not the result or the reward. The peace is the fact that I gave everything I had to it because this is who I am.
Yeah.
A warrior is not a person that carries a gun. The biggest war you ever go through is right between your own ears. It's in your mind. We're all going through a war in our mind, and we have to callous our mind to fight that war and to win that war. You have no idea how great you really are because you are using such minimal of what you have.
But the limitations exist only in our minds, and if you start using imagination, then your possibilities become limitless. So
why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance?
We're all going through a battle in our mind.
Then there are days when you just feel broken. Your back hurts, your knee hurts, had that a lot. Maybe you're a little sick or scared, but you still find a way to win. And those are the victories we can be most proud of. Because they prove that you can win not just when you're at your best, but especially when you aren't.
I will do what is required. And this work needs doing. And there's just no way around it. And it's just looking at the face of the work and it's like smiling back at me like.
As John Wayne said, courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyhow, all right? So there comes a point where you just have to have courage and you have to go.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never quit, in the end you will succeed.
And then there's something called passion, which once you have a passion for something, you no longer ask questions of motivation. Like people ask me like, what motivates you to go to the gym? I'm like, I'm addicted to going to the gym. It's like asking a crackhead, like what's motivating you to do that, light up that rock? And what? That's what I want to do, right?
There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions. So to me, what failure is the mother of all success. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan getting cut from his 9th grade basketball team, he wouldn't have became Michael Jordan.
Those of us out there who don't fit in because we don't want to get in. We don't want to be in. The race is not about the destination.
And competency builds confidence. And confidence feeds into competency. See, the better you become, the more confident you feel. And the more confident you feel, the better you want to become. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. You realize that you have no ceiling. That you can better whatever you've done so far. You can go beyond that. You don't become cocky and arrogant, feeling that you've already arrived, as most people have. No, as long as you're breathing, you've got some more work to do. There's something else for you to achieve.
I'm gonna get it done anyway. Do you have the capacity to execute at a high standard when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it? Because when you don't feel like it is when everybody else quits. And that's when you widen the gap between yourself and everybody else. I'm competing against Joe down the street. And when he comes in on his 4 days that he doesn't feel like it, he does half-ass. And I can tell you right now, there's going to be lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of times, in fact, the majority of the time, that you are not going to wake up in the morning and say, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to go get my ass kicked. That's not going to happen. So you have to say, hey, I'm going to do this regardless of how I feel. I'm going to execute, even if I'm having a bad day, even if this shit's going wrong. My shit is getting done day in and day out. And that is the fucking secret sauce about winning. Shift your mindset from, I got to feel like doing it, to it doesn't matter if I feel like doing it. But on my 4 days, I'm executing at the highest level because I've developed that skill set of discipline to do so. Over time, I'm going to widen that gap further and further and further away from that dude. And this is how the game works. It is legitimately a mathematical equation. How many days did you win? How many days did they win?
It's not luck, it is fucking math. And if you can push yourself to perform on a high level every single day of your life.
The race is about the running and what we see while we are running. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm playing to win. And to win, I will destroy you. I will do everything to win. And I need to win because when I win is my proof that I am alive.
The number one ingredient is hunger. If somebody's got a hunger that doesn't go away, not a hunger to lose some weight for the summer, I'm talking about hunger to be more, to do more, to create more, to become something, you know what I mean? That's there. Anybody who has that component that's alive in them is going to succeed. And hunger, though, usually comes from not having things go so well.
Two, you got to be willing to leave everything you have. If you're not willing to walk away, like you did from Toronto, you got to walk away from everything you have. The friends, this started for me when I was 25. It goes back to what I said earlier in the story with my drug addiction. I had to leave my friends, the girlfriend, everything that was comfortable, the bars, the clubs, the house I lived in, everything, bro. I had to walk away from it all. I have never had success in my life, not a next level success, without leaving something I love.
I like to be in control, and especially if my name is involved or me as a person is involved. I do things because I believe in things. I believe I can make a difference or make noise. And some things you do from your heart, some things you do from the brain. And
play hard, man. That's the values we give them. Play hard. And hey, man, be yourself. You know, in this world when everybody wants you to be, you know, to conform to this, conform to that, man, my whole thing is be yourself, man. You know, everybody's an individual. We all got different fingerprints, different DNA. Yo, man, we should just show how different we are, man. Just be yourself.
Personal ambition is worth fighting for. It really is something that if you don't fight for it, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. And if you regret it, you can be an unhappy person. If you're an unhappy person, it's going to affect your family. So you can see the chain of command all the way down, that it can be pretty devastating. The common answer is we fight for a family. But fighting for family starts with you. Mm-hmm. So you got to fight for peace of mind. That's what I think you have to go for. You know, what makes you happy enough in your life that you want to make other people happy.
Regardless of how you feel, you'll look around and realize you're the fucking winner.
See, most people want it easy. Easy come, easy go. It's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you. You have to harness your will to say, because when we seek the low road, when we seek the easy road, when we decide to go through life evading or avoiding things because they're hard, that's when we are really evading our own greatness. See, you cannot discover yourself. You cannot discover the greatness that you have within you. You cannot begin to expose yourself to new parts of yourself, of talents and skills and abilities you have, going through life trying to make it by easily. It won't happen like that. Airplane has to have resistance of the air in order to fly. So in order for us to begin to do what we need to do, we need to embrace the fact that it's hard, not avoid it. You got to fortify yourself and say, come on with it. I've got to step into it.
If you never step out of your comfort zone, you're going to be very uncomfortable later.
You're going to have a hard life at some point. Some of you guys, you're like, dude, I ain't willing to do that right now. Cool. Someone else less talented than you is going to do it. And then you're going to look up in 2 years and you're going to wish you'd have done it. Everything that you want and need in your life is always going to be on the other side of being uncomfortable. I need you to fall in love with being uncomfortable. Every freaking day of your life, live uncomfortable, run to pressure. Every single thing in your life that's hard, run to it, get in it, test yourself. That looks hard, good, go get in it. This is an opportunity for me to grow.
Because the process of getting better at what it is that you do is painful.
We should not accept. We allow ourselves to get out of shape. You see people like that? You didn't get out of shape overnight. You accepted it day after day after day after day. We let ourselves get into bad financial situations. We accept it. Little bit at a time. I'll just put this on credit. I'll just get another credit card. That's what we do. we accept doing a job or living a life that we really don't want to live. Saying is, do not accept that.
Real man is born to serve. And serve means provide for those that are in your sphere of you to provide for. It means to protect. It means to encourage. It means to teach and to train. And sometimes it means to step back and let them hit the wall. Sometimes the best service you can do for somebody is to, when it's all done, walk up and look down and say, did that hurt?
When I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff, that's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous, and most people want to take the safe path. The safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation almost every time. It's hell. It's hell. You're selling insurance or some other that you care.
Is it good to have no emotions whatsoever? No, that's called a sociopath, right? Is that good? No. Is it good, like I was talking about earlier, to let your emotions run your life and make your decisions based on your emotions? No, that's not good either. What do we want to be as a human, as a man? I want to be balanced. Want to be balanced. You don't want to be extreme in any direction.
Deserves a response. Not everyone deserves an explanation. Stop talking. Not every conversation is one that you need to participate in. Stop talking and start practicing being quiet and not having an opinion.
It's excruciating. And there's a reason why there is the phrase growing pains. Losers want to be coddled. They want to be comfortable so it doesn't ruffle their little delicate feathers. Winners, they're able to push their personal feelings aside. They say, you know what? So be it. I don't care. They want to be pushed and put through the pain because they know that going through that pain is going to produce the best possible product in themselves. They want results. And so the question is, are your feelings so delicate and so sensitive that you're going to let you getting your little feelings hurt get in the way of becoming what it is you wish to become? Or do you say, you know what? F my feelings. If there's no pain, there's no fucking gain.
You have to embrace the suck. When it sucks, embrace it. It's hard, good. That's part of it.
Like, yeah, this sucks, but it makes us awesome. Let's dig in, let's get better, let's skill up, let's use this to build our character, our strengths, our skills, our ability to win in the future. So all the things that suck right now, you're like, oh my God, I can't figure this out. It's gonna make you better.
Honor it. Your next level of success, that's what builds your character. But you don't get to it without the struggle. Stop bemoaning the struggle and celebrate it as something you endure, you engage with, you persevere for. Successful people, they love the process of hardship. They don't complain about it. Listen to your complaints. Our culture is dominated by complaint right now. Be the problem solver, the solution builder, be the leader, be the person who takes us to another level. That's your job. I'm no longer a complainer. I challenge myself to grow. You can't even go back.
How are you gonna get it? I'm willing to work for it. Therefore, I demand to get it. Now work harder and harder and harder. For once in your life, have some ownership, some credibility behind your actions and your words. Mean what you say, do what you say. Follow through for something for one time in your life. One time, follow through on what you say. You will feel a high that you've never felt before.
Good shit takes work, and the hardest things in life are also the most rewarding. So every time you get a thought of how you want to achieve this great thing or do this great thing, you are selling yourself short of that experience that will ultimately dim the quality of your life for your entire existence.
I'm angry. I want it all, man.
Oftentimes, protecting your peace and not getting involved and just listen, don't talk, is going to make you happy.
Growth mindset is, I believe, sort of a neuroscience lens on growth mindset would be that the agitation and stress that you feel at the beginning of something and when you're trying to lean into it and you can't focus is just a recognized gate. You have to pass through that gate to get to the focus component. And then if you can reward the effort process, you really start to feel joy and low levels of excitement in the effort process. That's that buffering of adrenaline. That's that feeling like, yes, I've got a lot of adrenaline in my system, but I'm on the right path. It feels good to walk up this hill.
Take ownership of your world. Take ownership of your life. There's number one. Look, do you have to sometimes get out there in the fringes a little bit? Occasionally, you probably had some business situations where you're like, all right, I got to let go half of my staff right now. That's an extreme move, but that's how we're going to start. Do you have to do that sometimes? Yes, you do. But don't let that be where you live. Live in the center, live in a stable area, and then finally discipline equals freedom.
So many emotions going through your mind, through your body.
The plan, and you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever job you do planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you f***ed up and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author and if you're gonna try to be an author and you're working 8 hours a day plus commuting plus family responsibilities or whatever else you have, whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline.
Undoubtedly, there is a huge pressure and expectations and the importance of that moment. And you're aware of that. You know, you can't put it aside and say, okay, I'm going to ignore it. No, it becomes a part of you, consumes you. Now it's on you if you are able to overcome that obstacle, to face that I would say big sensation of mix of doubts, fears, excitements, pressure or so forth. And if you are able to become one with it.
But if you don't have discipline and you don't execute, you don't focus, what do you get? Nothing. If you're complacent and not paying attention to detail, what does that get you? Nothing.
When you follow through on things in life, guys, you achieve the confidence, the mentality that anything's possible. Focus on your action because that's what matters, not your talk, not your doubts. It's all about what you do. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Let your actions do the talking. Build the life that you actually want. Go after the that you actually want. Relentlessly. Take pride in doing the hard nobody else will do. Take pride in working out in the elements when no one else is willing to do that. It doesn't just happen. You have to make it happen. So stop talking about how I'm thinking about doing it, but I don't know if no, you have the ability to do it. And you have to prove to yourself that you can do hard things. So what better opportunity and what fresher start do you have than right now?
I need you to be man enough, woman enough to look at your effort and ask him, where can I push myself? Can I read more? Can I study more? If financially you're not where you want to be, before you quit, I want you to ask yourself, what more can I do with this job? What are the gaps? Where can I serve? Where can I give more? What can I do more? Where can I sacrifice more? I want you to give more because listen to me very closely. You will never be let down. When you give more, you reap what you sow, you're going to get more. The more I practice, the more I study, the more I grind, the more magic happens.
Nothing else.
Figure out where your power base is and to work on the alignment of your personality. There's no passion, no motivation. There's no, oh my God, man, it's every day of your life just doing. No passion, no discipline, no motivation. All these words, I hate that so many people use these words because it's water. It's someone sitting in a room by themselves and they figure themselves out and say, God, this is gonna suck. Where's passion when you're 300 pounds? Where's the motivation when you can't read and write?
Once I see it, once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach.
Where is it? So how did this happen? I just did.
learn what matters to you and what's important and kind of your place in the world through repeatedly hitting your head against different challenges. And I mean, I think that is that's the journey, right? I mean, that's the entrepreneurial journey. It's also, I think, part of the beauty of building things. And
developing who you are, right? You don't have to be afraid of yourself. So I would say that the inner monologue that I have with myself now is totally different than when I was a kid, but it's similar in terms of the approach and just being open-minded.
People that win in life, all they do is do the stuff that no one else wants to do. That's how they win. Losers do what they want to do. Winners do what they don't want to do. I don't want to be out here in the heat, but I know this. If I'm on my couch, I don't push myself on my couch. I don't learn how great I am on my couch.
It's way past hours right now. I can go home. Why am I sitting here? I'm sitting here because it's a workout. This is me at the gym. So you want to think of it like when you go to the gym, you're putting in work, you're building stamina. Because I'm challenging my mind to see the bigger picture, make connections, and to lock it in focus.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. How hard do you work? What's your standard? How you hit that gym is how you're going to be as a man. How you study, how you prepare in school, you may think it doesn't affect how you're playing ball, it affects you. How you work out in the gym affects how you do your cardio, affects how you do in everything in your life. The way someone like you changes their career is you start thinking, I'm going to outwork everybody so that I begin to deserve stuff other people don't deserve. You get your ass in that gym and crush it. You beat them before you get on the field. You outlift them. You outdiet them. You bust your ass when you're doing cardio. You do everything harder than them. And guess what? You're going to get to have things everybody's not going to get.
You work your butt off when you work on your dreams every single day and you make them a reality. People will say you're just lucky, but the truth is, that luck you got is created in all the early mornings, late nights, working overtime, skipping parties, planning every day, focusing non-stop, putting in more effort than others are willing to, giving it everything you have. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Nobody gave me this. I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned the network. Everybody say, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked this.
Every dollar that I ever made that's significant at all was me locking in a state of momentum and focusing. My work gets better, 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 better. Because I'm locked in, I'm in a momentum state, I'm in a focus state. This is the mode mentally that you want to be sinking in to get rich.
So I call it going to a dark place. You have to get the noise out, quiet your mind down, get all the static out before you can even have a real conversation with yourself. And that self-talk, a lot of times it's very negative because of all the stuff we see on TV, all the stuff we see on social media. You have to create a positive dialogue. All they can do is learn and come back bigger, better, stronger, because all it's gonna do is lead you in the right direction. See, if you're always winning, then you don't really understand what it is to win. You gotta take those losses, you gotta take those hits. There's gotta be the valleys, the peaks, the ups, the downs. Ow, qué rico.
People see masculinity as something negative, whereas it's actually something very, very positive. It's this kind of energy that has built cities, that has invented things, that has created civilization. Not that women do not have a huge role in that as well, but there's something extremely positive about masculine energy. It's energy that's ambitious, that wants to make things. So you're somebody that wants to make and do and create things, not just talk and talk and talk and talk.
But 10 years from now, I'll be really glad that I showed up and did that. And the fact that some old guy is here telling it to you isn't going to change anything. I can't teach you anything, but maybe you'll decide to learn it yourself.
The rule is you can go after whatever you want. You just cannot deny anyone else to go after whatever they want. Now, I had to sacrifice choice. I didn't get to choose which bagel I got. I got whatever I pulled out, but I didn't have to wait in line. So the point is you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has done it. You can do it your way. You can break the rules.
Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit. molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you're gonna fly.
I need you to know that the stuff that you want, millions of people want the same thing you want and will never get it. So why, you, and how? Only one way. Total immersion. Become a freak. Guys, I want to crack you open and I want to see that you're crazy, because only crazy people make it.
Andre Ward, he said, boxing never came naturally to me. What separated me was my work ethic. What separated me was the extra mile on my run, the extra punch in my workout, the extra everything. He said, I just worked my ass off to get to that next level, to get to that next level. Every single thing that separated me was my work.
This is the mode that you want to be sinking in mentally to be better socially. This is the mode where you're going to add value. Have someone compete with you when you're in a high momentum state, your time is managed well, and you've got extended focus. Good luck.
The real battleground is in your mind.
You got people betting against you. They're like, he ain't gonna do it.
Everybody got a dream. Everybody got a goal. What's the gap? The question is, when you wake up in the morning, what effort are you putting forth? And everybody with a vision board ain't giving 100%. Everybody with a vision board ain't giving 120. Everybody with a schedule ain't giving 120. Everybody with a dream and a goal ain't giving 120. And some people might be giving it on Monday, but they ain't giving it on Tuesday. And some people giving it 127 days of the week, 365 days. And if you can be someone who executes, the person of action, you will finish that thing this year. You will accomplish that goal this year. Why? If you put forth a little more effort. And what I love about effort is you ain't got to go buy it from nowhere. You ain't got to get it from nobody. It's in here. It's there. It's in all of us. But if you can tap into a little bit more this year, you can have more. You can be more. You can do more.